Antelope Canyon, a place of breathtaking beauty. Carved by wind and water over millions of years, its sandstone walls twist and turn like frozen waves. Thousands visit each year, drawn by the narrow passageways and the way light dances on its walls. But for all its beauty, Antelope Canyon holds a hidden danger. A danger that few are prepared for. This is the story of Pancho Quintana, the only survivor of a deadly flash flood that struck without warning. It was August 12, 1997, a warm summer day in the Arizona desert. Pancho Quintana, a 28-year-old tour guide, was leading a group of 11 European tourists into Lower Antelope Canyon. The group was relaxed, chatting, and taking photos of the swirling rock formations. No one suspected the storm brewing miles away. No one saw the dark clouds gathering over the mesas. And no one heard the rain that began falling 7 miles upstream. In slot canyons like Antelope, that's all it takes. A sudden downpour miles away can send a wall of water racing downstream. A silent, invisible killer. Without warning, a torrent of muddy water surged through the canyon. It wasn't a gentle rise. It was a violent, unstoppable force. The wooden ladders snapped like matchsticks. The canyon, once a place of quiet beauty, became a deadly trap. Pancho, caught off guard, watched in horror as the flood swept his group off their feet. He knew the canyon well. He knew there was nowhere to run. As the water rose, he grabbed onto a narrow ledge, pressing himself against the wall, fighting to keep his head above water. 2 tourists tried to cling to him. He held them as long as he could, but the raging current tore them away. He was alone. For what felt like an eternity, Pancho battled the water. He struggled to breathe as the floodwaters roared around him. At one point, the force of the water tore him from the ledge. But somehow, he managed to grab onto a rock, anchoring himself once again. In those terrifying moments, he later said, he thought of his family, his future, and of how unfair it all seemed. And yet, he refused to let go. When the water finally receded, Pancho found himself bruised, exhausted, and alone. He had been swept nearly a quarter mile through the canyon. The others were gone. Rescuers arrived soon after. The flood had claimed 11 lives. Tourists from France, Sweden, the United Kingdom, and the United States. Pancho was the only one who survived. The tragedy shook the world. It raised questions about safety, weather monitoring, and the dangers of slot canyons. In the years that followed, safety measures were improved. Ladders were bolted into the canyon walls, and better warning systems were put in place. But the scars remained. Pancho Quintana carried the weight of that day for the rest of his life. Haunted by the memories, he struggled with survivor's guilt. But in time, he chose to share his story. He wrote a book, Breathe for Me. Through his words, he honored the victims. His story is a testament to the will to survive. Pancho never returned to guiding tours, but he continued to speak about the flood, hoping to prevent future tragedies. Antelope Canyon remains a place of wonder. Visitors still come to admire its beauty, but for Pancho, it will never be the same.